What if a life-changing accident turned out to be a blessing in disguise? For Sarah, getting hit by a car seemed like the worst day of her life, but it soon revealed itself to be the best thing that ever happened to her. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to Stories Unfolded. We bring you powerful stories of resilience, hope, and life's surprising twists. Let's dive into Sarah's journey. Sarah had always been an overachiever. She excelled in school, graduated at the top of her class, and landed a high-paying job as a marketing executive by the time she was 28. From the outside, Sarah's life seemed perfect. She lived in a sleek apartment in the city, drove a luxury car, and had a packed social calendar. But beneath the surface, Sarah was drowning in exhaustion and loneliness. Every morning she woke up at 6 a.m., hit the gym, and raced to the office for back-to-back meetings. She skipped lunches, answered emails late into the night, and rarely spent time with her friends or family. "Once I get this promotion, I'll slow down," she told herself repeatedly. But deep down, she knew that wasn't true. It was a Monday morning, and Sarah was running late for an important client meeting. Balancing her coffee in one hand and her phone in the other, she darted across the busy street near her office without looking both ways. That's when it happened. A car screeched to a halt, but not before hitting Sarah and sending her tumbling onto the pavement. Her coffee cup shattered, spilling its contents everywhere, and her phone skidded out of reach. Sarah lay on the ground, her vision blurred and her body racked with pain. A crowd gathered around her, and the driver, a young man named Ethan, rushed out of the car, panic etched across his face. "Oh my God, are you okay?" Ethan asked, kneeling beside her. Sarah groaned, trying to sit up. I think so," she mumbled, though every part of her ached. An ambulance arrived within minutes, and Sarah was rushed to the hospital. In the sterile white room of the emergency department, Sarah underwent x-rays and tests. To her immense relief, the injuries weren't life-threatening. She had a fractured rib, a sprained wrist, and numerous bruises, but nothing permanent. The doctor, a middle-aged woman with a kind smile, handed Sarah a prescription for pain medication. "You're lucky," she said. "It could have been so much worse." But as Sarah sat alone in the hospital bed, the gravity of the situation sank in. She thought about how close she had come to losing everything. Was this the wake-up call she needed? Over the next few days, Ethan visited Sarah at the hospital, bringing flowers and snacks as a way to apologize. "I can't stop thinking about what happened," he admitted during one visit, his voice full of regret. "I should have been more careful." Sarah, still sore and emotionally drained, gave him a weak smile. "It's not entirely your fault. I wasn't paying attention either." As the visits continued, Ethan's sincerity began to melt Sarah's guarded exterior. They talked about everything, from their favorite movies to their childhood dreams, and Sarah found herself laughing more than she had in months. After she was discharged, Sarah faced weeks of recovery at home. For someone used to being constantly busy, the forced downtime was agonizing, but it also gave her something she hadn't had in years: time to think. She started journaling, a suggestion from Ethan, pouring her thoughts, fears, and dreams onto the pages. At first, it felt awkward, but soon it became a daily ritual. In one journal entry, she wrote, "Why am I working so hard? What am I trying to prove? I have money, a career, and a nice apartment, but I feel so empty." The accident had cracked something open inside Sarah. For the first time, she began questioning the life she had been chasing so relentlessly. During her recovery, Ethan continued to check on Sarah, bringing her meals and keeping her company. Their connection deepened, and Sarah found herself looking forward to his visits. One afternoon, as they sat on her couch watching a documentary, Ethan turned to her and said, "You know, you don't have to keep living the way you were. You can start over." Sarah stared at him, his words resonating deeply. "Start over? That sounds terrifying," she admitted. Ethan smiled. Sometimes the scariest things lead to the best outcomes. With Ethan's encouragement, Sarah began making small changes. She started painting again, a hobby she had abandoned years ago, and signed up for a cooking class. She even reached out to her parents, whom she hadn't visited in months. The biggest change came when Sarah decided to scale back her work hours. Her boss was shocked, but Sarah stood her ground. "I need to focus on my health and happiness," she said firmly. "Work will always be here, but I won't." Meanwhile, her friendship with Ethan blossomed into something more. One evening, after a walk in the park, Ethan confessed his feelings. "I know this is crazy, considering how we met," he said, his cheeks flushing, "but I can't stop thinking about you." Sarah laughed, tears welling in her eyes. "You hit me with your car, and now you're asking me out? Bold move." But she couldn't deny her own feelings. The accident had brought them together, and Ethan's kindness had been a light in one of the darkest periods of her life. Over the next year, Sarah's life transformed. She quit her high-stress job and started her own freelance business, which gave her the flexibility to focus on her passions. She traveled, painted, and even volunteered at a local animal shelter. Ethan became her biggest supporter, cheering her on every step of the way. Their relationship deepened, built on mutual respect and shared dreams. On the one-year anniversary of the accident, Ethan surprised Sarah with a picnic in the park. As they sat under a tree, he handed her a small box. Inside was a necklace with a charm shaped like a car. Sarah burst out laughing. "You're never going to let me forget, are you?" "Never," Ethan said, grinning, "because that accident brought us here." This story shows us that even the most challenging moments can lead to unexpected blessings. For Sarah, getting hit by a car was a wake-up call that helped her find love, purpose, and happiness. If this story inspired you, please like and share it to remind others that life's detours can lead to incredible destinations. Don't forget to subscribe to Stories Unfolded for more tales of hope, resilience, and transformation. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.